Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Amanda and I am 37 years old. I am a mom. I've got a 3-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old son, and I make working mom content here on YouTube. I have a typical corporate job. I work Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 roughly, and I do a lot of day in the life videos and kind of show you guys how I manage my schedule, carve out time for myself, manage my kids, my household, working, and all of that. So today I am going to do a Q&A. I love the Q&As. I asked y'all over on Instagram a few weeks ago for some questions, and you guys always show up. I have some really good ones. I'm gonna talk a lot about just management of my life in general, how to keep the house clean, how I manage to carve out time for myself, get my workouts in. There were some questions about the kids and my parenting style, staying motivated, routines, all of that good stuff. So let's hop right into them. I got a lot of questions about tips for waking up early and staying fit. So if you guys have been watching my videos, you'll know that I am very routine oriented, and way back, I think it was almost 2 years ago now, I read the book Atomic Habits, and it was really eye-opening for me, and just about building new habits and how to change bad habits that you currently have. You should read the book. I will link it below. It's one of my favorites. And I basically started to read the book because I had a very bad habit of sleeping in. This was back, I think, during the pandemic time, and my husband was working from home. I was working from home. My kids were pretty little, and I got into a very bad habit of sleeping in till like 7:30, and my husband would get up with the kids and I would try to help where possible. And it was just, some days were good. I would be on top of things, but a lot of the time my day started out really bad because I woke up late. I felt really guilty about it. Things were chaotic with the kids, trying to get them off to daycare and stuff like that. So I really wanted to fix that, and I am generally not a morning person. I love my sleep. I could sleep in until 10 a.m. if you let me. But I knew that I needed to make this change. I also was finding that I just didn't have enough time in the day to get things done for myself. So working out, I didn't have time for it. If I didn't work out in the morning, I would work my full day, then I would pick up the kids, they would come home, I would want to spend time with them, cook dinner, have the whole bath and nighttime routine, and by the end of the day, I was just exhausted. So I wanted to break that habit and also add in my workouts on a more consistent basis. So I would say just creating that routine that you stick to is key. And I find myself in the best mood and the most proud of myself and most motivated and most productive when I wake up at 5 or 5:30 in the morning and I get my workout in, or I just get up at 5:30 and I get dressed and I sit on the couch and I read my Kindle and have my alone time to myself. That's really the only safe time that I have in the day, aside from when my kids go to bed. I have roughly an hour between 8 and 9 or 9:30 to myself where I'm uninterrupted and I can just strictly do whatever I want. So I would say that finding that time for you, whenever works best for you. If getting up early is not your thing and you just can't do it and it doesn't work into your schedule, try to find a time that does, that you can consistently do. And another thing about working out is that I found personally, it isn't necessarily the type of workout or exercise that you do. It's more the consistently working out. So if running is your thing, do it as much, as consistent as possible. And I really love strength training. I do not like cardio. If I'm gonna do cardio, I'm gonna take a walk around the block. I occasionally do the Peloton, but I really have completely stopped doing any type of cardio just because I don't enjoy it. And I find that for my body, lifting weights is what keeps myself strong and more defined, lean. And another big thing about exercise and working out that I found is that it's not only the consistency, but it's what you eat. And your diet is 80% of the way that you look. So if you're really looking to lose weight, then I feel like you should start with the diet, try to make more healthy choices, eat more whole foods. I do a keto diet for the most part, and I don't eat very many carbs, and I found that that works for me, but it doesn't work for everybody, and some people love carbs, and carbs are not scary. They're not bad. If you sit there and eat muffins and carbs that have a ton of sugar, then yes, that's a problem. But carbs are not the enemy. I think you just kind of have to experiment and find what works for you. And for me, keeping myself motivated is getting up early, getting my workouts in, and eating low carb and doing intermittent fasting. So that's kind of how I got the baby weight off and what keeps my body like in shape, I would say. But also, like, I do strength training, but I don't do more than four workouts a week, and I don't do more than 30-minute workouts. And I've read a bunch of different studies that show that if you work out like 5 times a week for an hour, it's not necessarily gonna get you to where you wanna be. And especially if you are a working mom like me, or if you're a mom, or you just have a very busy lifestyle, there's no time to do that. So I see results by doing kind of like less. And I've also found that as I get older, if I do more intense workouts, like more heavy weights for a longer period of time, I tend to, I don't know, it's not proven, but I feel like I like put on more weight. And I think it's because it's more stress on my body that raises your cortisol levels. And when you have high cortisol, the weight like stays on because it's like you're stressed and whatever. So I encourage you guys to experiment to find out what works for you. Do what you enjoy doing. Like, the exercise has to be something that you really love to do in order to keep it consistent. But hopefully that helps. I got a few questions about cleaning routines, and one of them says, how do you stay so motivated to stick to your cleaning routines? Another one is, do you have a set weekly or monthly schedule for cleaning the house? And I don't have a monthly schedule. I have more of a weekly schedule. So I do not clean at all on the weekends, because that is literally the only time that I have to spend with my family and to like take downtime. So I don't want to spend those 2 days out of the week cleaning my house. So because I work from home, this also makes it easy for me to get stuff done throughout the week. So Monday is kind of my day of the week where I do a reset. I vacuum my floors in the downstairs and I steam mop them. I also get the laundry started, or start folding laundry if I've thrown in a couple of loads over the weekend on like a Sunday. And I just kind of start there, and then throughout the week I'll get little things done around the house on my breaks or my lunch hour, things like that. So I'll clean my bathroom one day, or I'll clean my kids' bathrooms. I will vacuum upstairs, I will dust, and that's kind of my routine. I don't have a set, like, aside from Monday when I do my floors and I change my sheets and stuff. That's the only main thing that I have, and that stays consistent. And then I just kind of, it's like a maintenance cleaning every week. So I never have to do these deep cleanings. And honestly, I don't do deep cleanings, like, which is probably bad. I don't like scrub my baseboards or anything like that. I occasionally dust. I could probably dust more, but I don't feel like I want to or need to sometimes, unless I'm noticing it. That's kind of what I do for my cleaning schedule. And I am just like very particular about having a clean house. I like things neat and tidy as well as being clean. So another person asked, how do you keep your house so neat? And I would say that the downstairs is very neat because it keeps me calm to live in a neat and tidy house. And there's just so much going on that if I had a mess around all day long looking at it, like, it would drive me insane, and I would probably need to be like medicated or something. So I have to put things away. And it's not just like if there's a mess, like my kids playing on the floor with their toys, like that's fine. But if I see stuff left out on the counter that belongs somewhere else, I put it back in its place. And I just like looking around and feeling like everything is picked up and it's aesthetic. And like, that's just me. So I try to keep everything put away. For the most part, my kids' toys are all upstairs. They will bring stuff down and play with it, but they usually go back upstairs. Like, their magnet tiles are upstairs and their kitchen is upstairs and a lot of their games are upstairs. So if they bring stuff down, they'll bring it back up, and I make them clean up the upstairs every night before they go to bed. So that's how they keep that stuff up there. There is a toy basket down here, but I just kind of have them put everything away at the end of the night. I feel like it also helps them to have a nice, like calm, peaceful, clean and neat and tidy house. I feel like it reduces that chaos and that stimulation when everything kind of has its place and it's put away and all of that. Okay, so there are a few questions about like the kids. What dinners do you cook for the kids every week? I've mentioned before that I'm so bad. I'm not a good cook. I'm not very creative. I'm not like a Pinterest cooker whatsoever. But the tried and true things that my kids will eat that we make on a consistent basis every single week, they will have like pasta with meatballs and sauce. They love that. I will make them bean burritos with rice. They will have some sort of chicken dish each week, whether it's chicken parm or sort of like an Asian kind of a chicken with a soy sauce type of a thing. One of their favorites that I make usually every Thursday is chicken nuggets with crescent rolls. They love it. Tacos, the kids love tacos or quesadillas. Sometimes it'll be a sandwich. They love like peanut butter and jelly. They love cream cheese and jelly. They will have sometimes like crackers and just salami or like rolled up ham or turkey with some crackers, and I always give them a fruit with their dinner. Quinn loves salad, so she will ask me for salad and I make salad for myself probably 3 times a week, and so I will just make a salad and give her some of it and she will eat that. And then Chase loves just like carrots and cucumbers and bell peppers, and I'll just put those on his plate. Refried beans, they love those. They love baked beans. Sometimes I do breakfast for dinner. I really keep it very basic. Another question was about picky eaters, and like it seems that I give my kids pretty much the same thing, especially for breakfast every day. And honestly, if I don't give them a lot of choices, they just get used to what I give them. So that's it. They usually have pancakes or waffles for breakfast with fruit. Occasionally they'll have some toast or an English muffin. Sometimes they will have a yogurt pouch. Sometimes they will have cereal, but I honestly just like don't offer them very many choices, and they like what I give them. So I think that like me, they thrive on a routine. They thrive on consistency. So I know all kids are not like that, but honestly, like the less options that I give them, the easier it is. Another question about the kids is, how often do you let them use iPads or watch TV? Do you limit screen time? And so this is actually a really good question, because in one of my earlier videos, especially when the kids started school this year, Chase is in kindergarten, so our routine really got switched up a bit. And so I have to leave my house to pick up my kids around 3, and then they come home by around 3:45, and then I still need to go back and finish up working for the day. So I got in this really bad habit of giving them their iPads and like letting them have the iPad as soon as they got home from school for like a good hour, sometimes an hour and a half. And then the TV would be on later on at night after bath, and they would like sometimes watch a show. So it was just a lot of screen time. It was a bad choice. And I noticed right away that they were just getting crazy. They were having more of an attitude. They weren't engaged. They weren't playing, and they were just like little zombies. So I had to stop that. So now we do no iPads during the week. They get them for an hour on Saturday and an hour on Sunday, and that is it. And in terms of TV, I don't know, I'm in two minds about it. Like usually they come home and the TV is on, but what I find is that they have very short attention spans. So they will watch for a few minutes and then get bored of it and then start playing. So it's kind of like a thing that's in the background. And when I'm working, when I get home and pick them up, usually they'll have a snack, they'll sit down, watch TV for like 15, 20 minutes, and then they'll be playing. And then it's time to make dinner and we're talking and all of that and playing whatever. So TV is not like a huge, I'm not too worried about it. It's more of a background noise, but definitely realized that we were having too much time on the iPad. The good thing is that literally I told them, hey, we're not doing iPads during the week. And on the first day, they're like, oh no, and really like upset about it. But after that first day, they didn't even ask about it. They didn't care. It was like on to the next. They're used to something else and it's a new thing. So I feel like if you have younger kids that are not, like addicted to the iPad or a phone or something like that, it'll be easy to kind of cut down on that screen time. Can you share your anti-aging or skincare routine? Sure. I really don't have much of one. So my skincare routine consists of, I use CeraVe face wash, and I use Cetaphil face moisturizer. Then I use a hyaluronic acid, like gel kind of a thing, like in a little like squirt bottle. And I just put that kind of like under my eyes, because I find that like underneath my eyes, I have these like fine wrinkles that I can't stand. So I do that. And then I have this coconut oil that I just like put over my face, and the coconut oil is only at night, but I use the hyaluronic acid in the morning and at night. And that's really it. I don't have anything else. I have no like lotions and potions. I don't have a very big skincare routine. And actually I stop washing my face completely in the morning unless I work out. So on the days that I don't work out, I don't even wash my face. I just put lotion. I just do the hyaluronic acid and the lotion, and that's it. But also anti-aging, I do get Botox like every 5 months, and that is it. Speaking of wrinkles, and the fact that like, you can't really tell right now, but like I mentioned, I have these like fine lines under my eyes that have been bothering me. So I've been looking for a solution, because there's like, I don't want to get like fillers or anything. I've actually asked the person that does Botox, like, should I get filler underneath my eyes for my wrinkles? And they're like, no, you don't have a big enough issue to do that. And I've been, watching videos on what filler can do and how it migrates, and I don't know, I didn't want to do it. I found, and I'm sure you've heard of these, they're called Frownies, and they work freaking wonders. And the reason why I have wrinkles under my eyes, and like honestly right here, is because I sleep on my side, and I tend to favor my right side. So this side is the one that's the worst. I started putting these Frownies on underneath my eyes, and you can also buy them for like your forehead if you have lines on your forehead or your crow's feet or around your mouth. Oh my gosh, the difference I saw like overnight. It was like night and day. I would wake up and I would have these like indented lines under my eyes. I'm not even kidding. I wish I had taken a picture before I started to use these, but literally after using them for like 2 to 3 days, I noticed a huge difference. And they are not sponsored. I found them on Amazon. I was seeing Instagram ads for them, and I was like, whatever, they're like 25 bucks or something, I will try them. You just like wet them, you put them on your face, and you sleep with them, and then you like peel them off the next day. Like, I look so refreshed when I wake up. It is amazing. I will link them in the description box. Like, if you are a side sleeper, or if you just want to, not have to get Botox or something, or get it less frequently, oh my gosh, I would 100%, like 12 out of 10 recommend these. Some people asked if I could talk more about my parenting style. In a previous Q&A, I mentioned that my parenting style is more like routine based and schedule based. I feel like that's what works the best for my kids. Having a set, time that they wake up, knowing what exactly to expect. Like, they wake up, we get our teeth brushed, we get dressed, we make our bed, we come downstairs, we have breakfast, we get off to school, and then the nighttime routine, kind of the same thing. And I feel like that, it really helps me. I try to stick to the same routine every single day, and I feel like that helps them a lot as well. I mentioned in my last video that I don't really subscribe to the like gentle parenting concept. Like, I feel like there should be a very healthy balance between, you're the child and I'm the adult, and what I say goes, and don't talk back to me, and they get punishments. We'll make them go sit on the stair or go up to their room if they're not kind to each other, or if they talk back to me or Pete, or they misbehave. We sometimes yell at them, which is bad, but at the same time, like, I feel like you have to be stern, or else they're gonna walk all over you, and they have to know that they are not. This is all my opinion. I feel like they need to know who's the boss, and that the world does not revolve around them. You're living under our roof, and so what we say goes. And that's kind of, how it is. And I feel like our kids are really respectful. Chase has been a little bit mouthy recently, but I think that that's just, kindergarten will do that. Like, they're around a lot of different kids, just a whole new world with kindergarten. Oh my gosh, he came home one day and he told me that he knows what the F word is. And I was like, okay, I'm thinking like, it's fart or something like that. Because in the past he said, I know a bad word, I know what the S word is. And I'm thinking like, he's not gonna say shit or whatever, so he said stupid. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's a bad word. We don't say that, we don't call people that, yada, yada. So he comes home and he tells me that this little girl in his class said the F word. And I was like, okay, tell me. And he's like, I don't want to tell you, like, I don't want to get in trouble, yada, yada. So I was like, whisper it to me. He whispers it to me and it was indeed the F word. So, I don't know. It's a whole, like, Chase's, I feel like my parenting and Pete's parenting is like constantly evolving, and as they get older and they're more aware of what's going on and they're testing the limits, I feel like Chase is really starting to test the boundaries. So I don't know, there's a lot of love in the house, healthy relationship and boundaries. I would say they thrive on routines, they thrive on having a clean house, they really love having responsibilities, like, you know, making your bed, cleaning up after dinner, cleaning up your toys. Like, I feel like all of that stuff. So that's kind of what our style is. And also just like between me and Pete, us being on the same page with our parenting. I feel like sometimes one of the parents is kind of the softie, and I feel like Pete's that because I'm with the kids a little bit more. But at the same time, it's like, do you want me to go tell daddy what you did? No. Cause you know, so just making sure that me and Pete are always on the same page. Like if I discipline them or say they can't have something, he always will back me up, and vice versa. So like we don't have the situation where, well, I'm just gonna go ask mommy or I'm gonna go ask daddy. It's, well, if mommy said it, then that's what it is. Or if daddy said it, then that's what it is. So that's kind of how we're, you know, parenting our kids. It's a learning process, and I don't think there's like a right or wrong way. Every parent does things differently and every kid is different. So it's kind of like very subjective. Somebody asked about, have you gone back on your alcohol-free journey? Yes, for the most part. I would not say though that I am fully alcohol-free. I have cut down my alcohol intake significantly, and I would say that if I drink at all, it's maybe once a month, and it is for a special occasion, like a birthday or a girls' night out or a holiday, whatever. So that's kind of where I'm at. I've also figured out that like I love wine and I love champagne, but it just is the worst for me. And I immediately get a headache when I start to drink it. And so if I am gonna drink, I'm gonna stick to something like a dirty martini, which has no sugar. And I found that the next day I am not hungover, I'm tired because alcohol disrupts your sleep a lot, but I haven't seen those really like bad side effects as I used to when I was like more consistently drinking wine. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not making a sweeping statement that I'm never drinking alcohol again, because it's just like, it's not gonna happen. But I definitely do not drink very much. And I am much more happy with it that way. Oh, this is a good one. Do you have many friends? It's hard to make friends as a mom. Yeah, I do have a good amount of friends. And I have to say though, that it is very, very difficult making friends. And luckily my husband is a really social person. So he kind of is the one responsible for the really good girlfriends that I've made. We have like a few couples that we hang out with like every week, and our kids play together, and we like the parents we all get along. We get like shore houses. We get beach houses with them. We go on vacations with them and stuff like that. We're always like hanging out, and I have to credit that to Pete because he is social and he's kind of like started those relationships. And then, you know, I've like developed my own with the wives and stuff, but it is really hard. I will also say that a lot depends on who you live around and your neighborhood. Like ever since moving and also having a kid in like kindergarten, that's another thing. Like I will credit a lot of the new friendships that I have started to make with being in this new neighborhood, and I am so, so grateful. We have the best neighbors. They're just so sweet, and luckily a bunch of our neighbors' kids are in Chase's class. So that's been so awesome. It's like you know, you start hearing from your kids who they're playing with in school and stuff like that. And then like the kids are out in the neighborhood, and we have my little community has a bunko night. So I got to meet a lot of the women in our neighborhood from bunko night. And then from there, you kind of like start developing the friendships. And it takes a long time. Like I will say, the friendships that I started when we first moved out here, it's taken a good like couple years for me to feel completely comfortable where we're calling them up and we're hanging out like on a consistent basis every week or every other week. So I totally feel your pain. I am such an introvert too. I would much rather be at home on the couch reading a book by myself than being out and about. And I feel like I'm very awkward when I first meet people, and I'm like standoffish a little bit, and I don't know what to say and stuff like that. So I like have a little social anxiety too. I always am like, oh, I don't want to go, like whatever. And then I finally like, I'll go to bunko or whatever. And it ends up being really fun. So I would just say, put yourself out there. Like if I didn't start going to bunko, I probably wouldn't know most of the women in my neighborhood. So if there is something like that, or like a group that you can join, a Facebook group for your neighborhood or for your community that is like moms, I would totally, you know, just go for it. What's the harm? So put yourself out there and just keep on making the connections and keep on reaching out. And yeah, and I think that like through your kids, you'll start to make friends with their parents. And that's kind of what's happened too. It's like if our kids love to hang out with each other, then it's like, oh, you start having the relationship with the parents, and it kind of goes from there. So I know it's tough. Okay, I had like a couple things about YouTube. What part of your day do you allocate time for YouTube editing? So I mostly do my YouTube editing on the weekends during like nap time or quiet time. Occasionally I will do like my thumbnail or something during the workday, or adding like music to my YouTube videos or something like that during the workday, things that take like a very short amount of time. But the weekend is when I get my like bulk of editing done. How much do you earn from YouTube? It really varies. It varies based on the video, and it varies based on the frequency. So like the more videos I put up per month, the more money I make. In the beginning of YouTube, I was not making anything. YouTube has been, personally, and from what I've just been hearing, is that people are not making the same as they used to on YouTube. So I would say like, especially if you're thinking, if that question is coming from like, I'm thinking of starting a YouTube channel and I want to try to monetize, don't do it for the money. I know that this isn't like a great answer, but the sponsorships that I get pay me, like one sponsorship for like a 3-minute YouTube integration, pay me more money usually, or the same one sponsorship as what I make in the whole month from YouTube. So if that gives you any idea. But I love YouTube, and it's such a creative outlet. I'm not gonna stop doing it. Do you used to edit your videos? Do you do your videos with your phone? I just use iMovie on my MacBook to edit my videos. I do not use my phone. I don't film with my phone unless it's like a very short clip and I don't have my camera. One person asked about long-term career goals. I would say that a long-term career goal would be to get to a place where I do not have to rely on my 9-to-5 as my main stable source of income. So I would love to expand on YouTube or get into some business venture that is not corporate America. So that's my long-term career goal. But obviously, like, we're not in a very great economic situation right now, so I have to keep my 9-to-5. I do enjoy it, and I'm very grateful for it, and it is stable and consistent. So for now, that's what I'll be doing, and then I have my little YouTube side hustle. I'm gonna finish on just like a fun one, and somebody asked, are you a haul kind of shopper like other vloggers or YouTubers, or are you a mindful shopper? And I would say that I definitely am not like a haul shopper at all. I will not go out to a store and purchase like 10 different things and do a haul. Like that is not me. If I do a haul, I'll usually let you guys know, and it's like a sponsored type of a haul. I would say I am a mindful shopper in some ways and not in other ways. I am the queen of making Amazon purchases like one at a time over the course of the week. And it's a bad habit. Like instead of doing like adding 5 things to my cart and checking out, I will like do $20 item here, $30 item there. And then you don't think that it adds up, but it actually does. So I think in January, I'm going on an Amazon freeze again, because the spending is just like, with the holidays and everything, I need to just stop. I need to be more mindful. And I think that consumerism in general has gotten out of control. It's normal, or it's portrayed on social media as normal, to buy and buy and buy more and more and more. I'm talking to myself here. I should not be buying something on Amazon every single day or every single week. It's just not, it's not normal. And I am so guilty of it. Or like going to Target and then walking away and spending $200. Not necessary at all, but it's normalized and it's aestheticized. Like, you know, go grab your Starbucks coffee and come to Target with me and see all the cute Christmas stuff. Like, I am so influenced by that stuff because it looks so good and everything is so cute and I want it, but like, no, it's bad and it is gonna make you have credit card debt, and it's going to stop you from saving and put you in a hole. And I am trying to tell myself that because I have a bad habit of shopping. Know that it's that dopamine hit that you get, especially when I get an Amazon package, like, and then I don't wear it for like 3 weeks. So I would never advocate for that. I also think that all of the like products and makeup and stuff like that, it's just like, I do not subscribe into that. Like all of the skincare routines and like the 17-step skincare process, it's not necessary. Layering 17 layers or even 3 or 4 things on your face, I feel like it's not gonna do anything. And then you're like, well, what even works? Because you have so much stuff on your face that you can't tell. So I am not a proponent of any of that stuff. I am trying to be more minimalist and get rid of stuff and have more like timeless clothing and that kind of a thing, so that I am not, you know, buying things that are just on trend all the time. Anyways, guys, I think that is it for the Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave me a comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for submitting your questions. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more Working Mom content and Q&As, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.